Okay, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing a no-death run on Mega Man 4. We've already done a no-death run on Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 3 on this channel, so I thought it'd be fun to try and get one done on Mega Man 4. And just like my Mega Man 2 and 3 video, no death, we will be going for the guy who has what we want the most first. In Mega Man 2, that is Metal Man with the overpowered Metal Blade. In Mega Man 3, that is Needle Man with the extremely useful Rush Jet. In Mega Man 4, it is Bright Man, because we want his Flash Stopper. That's going to be very helpful to us in this run. So I got asked the other day about my setup. Someone was curious to know if I recorded my video first and then did audio over it. And I had to tell them that no. When I play games, I am speaking while I play. And it can be difficult to do two things at once, especially if you're in an intense moment in the game, or if it's a really intense game, like, you know, Contra 3 or Super C. Those can be difficult to record commentary for. Now, the couple times that I did the game footage first and then the audio, it was a time I was going through my Xbox 360 hard drive, and I'd forgotten that I had recorded deathless runs through every level on Halo 3, Halo Reach, and Halo ODST. I was really big into the Halo games back then, and yeah, recorded footage of myself. They had the theater mode, so you know I'd always planned on uploading it to the internet someday, but didn't have like a capture card or any of the capabilities. So after recording a bunch of retro game footage years later, you know, it dawned on me, oh yeah, I'm still sitting on all that footage, so I just pulled up theater mode and played it, and recorded the audio over it. And that was a really fun experience, because a lot of those videos I went, you know, when I was recording the audio, I was doing it cold. I hadn't watched those videos in years. So it was like kind of a new thing and a blast for the past for me to watch it. But everything else, it's me recording the commentary while I'm playing, which can be difficult to do. You know, I'm trying to get my brain to do two things at once, so it's fun. It's something I haven't mastered, so if I lose my train of thought or get quiet, you know, you'll have to forgive me. I'm still not very good at doing it. Alright, hopefully we can beat Bright Man without using the E-Tank. So I got asked the other day about my setup, you know, my configuration for my equipment. They want to know what kind of gear I'm using, and it's not a complicated setup. It's actually kind of the simplest setup that I can imagine. It's I got the, you know, I'm just sitting on the edge of my bed. I've got the TV hooked up to the Kevtris, also the NES Mini, the SNES Mini, the Sega Mini. I also have a Super Nintendo up here and a Sega Genesis up here. Those I can't do yet because they're not RGB modded. The 360's up here. That has a high def, or excuse me, an HDMI port, so we can do games on that. And we have done games on that. And the desktop is in the corner. That's where all the wires are feeding into, the capture card, the headset's hooked up to the desktop. So it's a very simple configuration, no frame meister or anything like that. Alright, so now we're doing Drill Man because we want the Rush Jet. Not as useful as the Rush Jet in Mega Man 3. Nowhere near as useful, but still useful. Alright, so let's talk some Mega Man. I already, in my Mega Man 3 No Death run, talked about the series, what the games, where they, like, kind of fall in the series. I don't want to go in-depth on that again, so we'll show off how to get this 1-up, even though it's a no-death run, so we don't need 1-ups, but whatever, we'll show off the trick anyway. Just take a little damage. One of the most generous things about Mega Man. So, my thoughts on the series. Mega Man 1. It is the most flawed, but that's forgivable because it is the original. It's the first one. And even if we didn't have... It's frustrating, but even if we didn't have Mega Man 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, Mega Man 1 would still be regarded as a good game. A frustrating game, but a good game. Alright, let's get a little health back before we take on Drill Man. A worthless 1-up. Mega Man 2, the easiest and the most accessible. That's the one that if you are a noob to the Mega Man series, that's the one you're going to want to start with. Gateway Mega Man game, I guess you could call it. And it's a bit easier because... Well, first off, it's easier than Mega Man 1. It's, a bit more polished up. There we go, that's what we want. Alright, that's enough of that. Alright, this is another one of the great uses of Flash Stopper. But, like Mega Man 1, Mega Man 2, there's nothing after, or you go straight to Wily's Castle after the Robot Masters. You don't have to do any extra levels. Mega Man 3, 4, 5, and 6 all have extra levels once you beat the Robot Masters. Mega Man 3, the budget, the retro gamer on a budget, that's the Mega Man for you. Oop, let's go ahead and use an E-Tank. Mega Man 3 is not only the most affordable, budget-friendly Mega Man, it is the most challenging. That's the one I had as a kid, and I loved it. It was my favorite. Mega Man 4, this one, the most balanced. And when I began collecting retro games in the late 90s, this one became my favorite. It was my favorite for years. And what do I mean by most balanced? I mean that this is the one where you can do the Robot Masters in any order. It is an even playing field. The charged Mega Buster shot is powerful enough that you can take on any Robot Master and not struggle. In fact, when I do play this game, you know, you'll notice so far I've been using the Mega Buster. I'll probably use... I find I normally use the Mega Buster on most of the bosses. There's only a couple of them that I'll actually use the weapon they're weak against. Alright, let's do Pharaoh Man next. Pharaoh Man is one of the coolest Mega Man Robot Masters, and he also has a really cool level too. Unfortunately, we're going to kind of cheese it. So Mega Man 4, the most balanced, and for years, you know, during my early retro game collecting days. Mega Man 5. What do I call Mega Man 5? The most expensive. About $150 for the cartridge now. I had some other thoughts about it, but I don't want to rehash it. Calling it the most expensive is, I think, a fair assessment. And Mega Man 6 is my favorite. I absolutely love the Rush jetpack adapter. You know, now in my... as a 40-year-old retro gamer, it has become my favorite. Maybe it's my favorite because it's also, I feel like it's the most overlooked in the series. That would make sense, but I don't know, I just really enjoy playing it. When I play it, I beat Plant Man first, get the Rush jetpack, and just have a ball. I can't wait to try a no-death run on that one. Alright, now we are going to cheese Pharaoh Man. He's actually quite tough if you want to fight him straight up, so we're not going to bother. We're just going to shoot him in the head. Okay, so the discussion about the games is in the books. Just wanted to wish everyone, today is Friday, September 13th. Happy Friday the 13th. I was considering streaming Friday the 13th today. Ultimately decided against it, wanted to play Mega Man 4 instead. how useful Flash Stopper is. Allows you any level, you know, that has a segment that you just find annoying. You don't have to do it. You know, between Flash Stopper and Rush Jet, you can skip huge chunks of the game. And I know, you know, if you were interested in watching like a run where you like destroy everything, yeah, then this isn't for you. This one we're going to be doing, we're showing off tricks, you know, why you would get some of these items early. Now, something significant about today, Friday, September 13th, is today is the day that the application window for the 2025 Boston Marathon closed. You had to submit a qualifying time in a verifiable marathon in order to apply for the 2025 Boston Marathon. That's the standard procedure. Whoops. And last October, right at the start of the qualification window for the 2025 Boston Marathon, I ran my first marathon 3 days after my 40th birthday, and I got a qualifying time by 2 minutes and 22 seconds. So I've been sitting on it for the last 11 months. I submitted it when the registration window opened on Monday. It closed today on Friday. Within a few weeks, I should find out whether or not I get to run in the 2025 Boston Marathon. So fingers crossed. Alright, here's one that's kind of a personal favorite of mine, Dive Man with the periscope on the head. And I guess I don't think I've ever really mentioned it, but so the name Underwater Levels does not, you know, the channel name I picked, it does not come from my love of playing, you know, the underwater levels in video games. I kind of do, but that was just kind of a cheeky little joke. No, it comes because I used to be in the Navy Submarine Force, and you know, I brought my Game Boy SP with me, and I would play, like, you know, A Link to the Past, Zelda 2, Link's Awakening, Super Mario Bros. 3. I had a bunch of games on the Game Boy SP that I would play, you know, to pass the time hundreds of feet under the water. So I picked the name Underwater Levels. I thought it was cool. Alright, Eddie, give us an E-Tank. Alright, excellent. Having a lucky run so far. Let's try not to blow it. Oops, we froze him before he could spawn in. Oh well. Alright, here's the classic Falling Spikes MegaMan segment. Obligatory, whatever you want to call it. Oof, that was close. And we now have Wire. Unfortunately, we have to start back a little bit. And what the heck? We'll use a little bit of Rush Marine. You know, it's a power-up I wish I could like, but I just can't. It's just not useful enough. I'm sorry. Man, we're gonna have to blow a E-tank here. The good news is Dive Man's pretty easy. I think I may have mentioned this, but this game is plentiful with the E-tanks, but I find I really need them to help me get through the Robot Master stages. If I can make it to Cossack's Castle, I find I can, you know, save my E-tanks pretty easily. I don't really need them in Wily's Castle or Cossack's Castle. I find I only need them for the last boss, the last battle against Wily. Second to last battle. Okay, so now we come to the part where I want to have the meat and potatoes discussion of this vid. So, I've been talking a lot about instruction manuals, and I do intend on getting some. Most instruction manuals were pretty dull. I'm talking like, you know, the MegaMan manuals, nothing special. The Castlevania manuals, I don't think the Contra manuals were very special. There's really only a handful of manuals that, you know, were really cool. And everyone knows which ones they are. It's Super Mario Bros. 2, Super Mario Bros. 3, Legend of Zelda, Zelda 2, Adventure of Link, Metroid, and I'll even give Kid Icarus, even though I don't think Kid Icarus is a particularly good game. I'll go ahead and stipulate it is one of the better instruction manuals. And I've gone on this tangent before about, you know, what the instruction manuals were. When you played, not so much with some of those other games, but when you played a game like, you know, The Legend of Zelda, or Zelda 2, or Metroid, you were meant to get the game brand new with the box and the manual. And you were meant to, you know, read the manual and have it serve as like a guide, you know, supplemental information. It was supposed to, you know, it was supposed to be an immersive experience. It had a, you know, long comic book story. Oops. was supposed to tell you what the stakes were, what you had to do. Take a game like Metroid, for example. I always use the Metroid example. You know, retro gamers complain, oh, Metroid needed a map, it was too confusing. No, Metroid had a map, it was in the manual. It wasn't a detailed map, but it was a map. There may be an easier way to take this guy out, but whatever, this is what we're gonna do. Alright, another E-tank. We're having good luck with that. We may not need to use an E-tank on Ringman, but we're not going to risk it. We got a free one from Eddie anyway. So, better safe than sorry. I'm usually pretty good about taking out Ringman, but whatever. Okay, so with that discussion about the manual, you know, I intend on collecting the handful of truly great manuals. You know, I love and appreciate them for what they were. So Mario 2, Mario 3, Zelda, Zelda 2, Metroid, and Icarus, I'll pick up. Now, I did pick up Zelda, or the original Legend of Zelda came with a fold-out map. It was bundled or packaged as being like an emergency. It said open only in case of emergency. And I'm going to link a video in the description from a channel called Generation Gap Gaming. Personally, I don't really like this channel. I think it's a little pretentious with the presentation. You know, I don't mean to be a snob about it. It's just, you know, it's just not what I like. But this channel did, I will stipulate that he did do a good channel, or excuse me, a good job in his Legend of Zelda video, so much so that I'm going to link it. It is, he talks a lot about a lot about the importance of instruction manuals, but also about... Let me get rushed yet. Also a lot about the emergency fold-out map. That could have gone better, could have gone worse. Now that emergency fold-out map is really cool. It's so cool that I recently found one on eBay and purchased it. You know, you got The Legend of Zelda's with the manual and the box, you open it up, and it's still, you know, back in 1988 or 1987, a very intimidating game, you know, trying to figure out where to go and what to do. And that emergency package had so much useful information. You know, all the enemies, all the items, a map of the overworld, plus the locations of the first couple dungeons and tips on how to get through them. It really is cool, and I think it would, you know, I bought one, I found one on eBay that was in decent shape. And I'm going to find a frame for it and put it on the wall of my new game room. I am in the works for getting a new game room soon. Moving my setup to something a bit more spacious now that things have changed in my life. And I can't remember what he's weak to. Maybe dive missile? Or no, it's ring boomerang, but the only thing is... it's easier to keep your distance when fighting Dustman. Whoa, that was close. Run almost ended right there. Yeah, so it just got me thinking also about, like, what are some other cool ideas for posters? And I remember seeing it on Mike Matei's wall. It's that, it's called the NES Game Plan. I'm going to be picking one up. It's a poster. It's Rob the Robot's head surrounded by the NES black box games. That is a great poster, and if you're a hardcore retro gamer, you have to have it on your wall. I'm going to find a nice frame for that, put that on the wall. And it also got me thinking about, you know, didn't my NES Classic Mini come with a poster? So I went, you know, I had to find the box in my basement, and sure enough, it did come with a poster. It was the, might as well get that. It's worthless, but we'll take it. Yeah, so I found my NES, the box that my NES Mini came in, and it had a fold-out poster. It is a television running Duck Hunt, and it has the Zapper, Rob the Robot, and a couple of cartridges. No power pad. But it's a pretty neat fold-out poster, so I'm going to find a nice frame for that one as well. And then I wondered if the other minis that I own came with fold-out posters. So I checked those boxes. The Genesis Mini, no such thing. But the SNES Mini did. I'm not sure why I didn't grab these before. I'm kind of grateful that I kept them in the box and kept the box in the basement, because the posters are there in perfect shape. You know, they're creased from being folded, but you know, they're not damaged. And I can't wait to put them in frames and hang them up in my game room. The SNES Mini, the poster that came with that, not a great one, admittedly. It's just a couple of games that are on the SNES Mini's library. There's screenshots for them. I mean, it's something. I'm just glad that it came with a poster, because it got me to thinking, you know, the Genesis... Okay, here's the trick to getting that E-Tank, by the way. There we go. It's trickier than it looks. Yeah, it just got me thinking, you know, because the Genesis did come with a fold-out poster. The Super Nintendo likewise came with a fold-out poster. The NES. Consoles used to come with fold-out posters. Video games used to come with instruction manuals. Some of them came with really good instruction manuals. Got me thinking about, like, you know, man, I hate this paperless society that we're trying to be. It's not just a paperless society, but is a, what I like to call a Perk-less society. You know, you used to get perks. You used to get stuff with your console or your video games. You used to get... Oh, yeah, we're just gonna use, I can't even remember what he's weakest against. I usually have a better fight. We're gonna have to use an E-Tank. You know, you used to get turn-down service at your hotel. You used to get, to bring more than, you used to get an in-flight meal on your plane trip. You used to be able to bring carry-on bags. You used to be able to get bags at your grocery store. You know, I work in retail, and whenever someone signs up for a loyalty card, you know, they're asked if they want to get the receipts via email. And a lot of times people say, oh yeah, that's great, we should be a paperless society, and they go for it. And then every time they check out, they want the receipt. because they realize that a paperless receipt is stupid. You know, they're not going to check their email. It's, you know, I don't want to. It'd be nice to have. It's nice to have paper in your hands. You know, your instruction manuals, your receipt. I don't like this paperless society. I should be able to check my receipt without... You know, they always encourage you to go paperless, too. Oh, it's good for the planet or whatever. No, it's a cost-cutting measure. That's what I don't like, is when cost-cutting measures are disguised as good. You know, I want paper. I feel like... Sometimes I feel like the guy in Waterworld, you know, who holds up a page from National Geographic and everyone is just shocked. Oh, it's paper. I would like paper. I want to hold the physical thing in my hand. I don't want to have to check my phone. Alright, so here we have... these ledges are kind of tricky because there's enemies that'll knock you down. I always find it's the first part of the castle, the one where you're actually going into, you know, scaling the outside of the castle, that's the hardest level. This one's particularly tough because Dr. Cossack, being a Russian, I guess his castle's in Siberia because it's cold. So we have to deal with, you know, ice physics. Okay, first boss. This one is not too tough. I think we just need a ring boomerang. Yeah, so don't let them take your perks away. Anytime there's something you like that's complimentary, or even something you take for granted, once they take it away, it's gone forever. So don't let them take your perks. Whether it's, you know, the bags at your grocery store, a receipt, you know, whatever. Perks are worth fighting for. Okay, we need a ring we're gonna need for the end. And bright is just nice to have, so... But right now we just need some rush jet. Ah, what the heck, we'll fill up some dive missile. And I apologize, I know it's annoying and interruptive of the action to constantly be switching weapons. That's probably the one thing that could have done better is a button to, if maybe just pressing select, you could switch Mega Man's power-up, not have to go to the menu screen to toggle it. I don't know if they implemented that in the later Mega Man in 5 or 6, I can't remember. And we're just not taking any unnecessary risks. I know I can make that jump, but just in case, I'd hate for the run to die there because of a careless jump. Oops. I thought I was far enough away. Oh well. And not that we need the 1-up. Oops. Okay, this boss isn't too difficult, but we may have to burn an E-tank on him. By the way, I will do my best not to I have been doing my best not to constantly be overcharging the Mega Buster, because I realize it's no fun to listen to. You know, the chiptunes for Mega Man 4 are actually pretty good. And one thing they didn't fix, I think they finally fixed it in Mega Man 7, but, you know, holding a charged shot in 4, 5, and 6, you have to listen to that annoying warble drowning out the chiptunes. That was something, yes, 7 they finally realized, oh, the way to fix that is just have it make a chime for the player to, you know, understand that Mega Man's holding a charged shot. Okay, this ought to finish off the boss. Dr. Cossack's castle. He's this is very much a Cold War video game. He's obvious. This is like the Rocky IV of the Mega Man series. Yeah, that is obviously a Russian-inspired. With the red star there, totally indicates that he's some kind of communist agent. Ooh, this is the auto-scroller. We're gonna have to be a little careful on this one. Very easy to take a careless death here. Like we almost did right there. There's one more auto-scrolling section, so almost through. This might be the toughest part of the game to get through without taking a careless death. I remember this part. I did take a full disclosure. I did take a careless death here, and found that this is the best way to proceed, is with the dive missiles. Alright, and here's the trick to getting that E-tank. Okay, so far so good. We're coming up on the battle against Cossack. Okay, we are up to 6 E-tanks, so I feel like we're in really good shape. Here we're going to take the alternate path. Why wouldn't we? Up to 7 E-tanks. And this might be useful for... Okay, we'll get some right flash. We'll try a couple more and then we'll move on. Okay, and rain flash is actually extremely useful. I haven't been using it much. Alright, in this battle against Cossack, not difficult. Alright, that's it for the Cossack battle. Cossack and Kalinka. And it looks kind of silly, but she's wearing one of those, I don't know what they're called, but those tall black or gray hats that you sometimes see people in Eastern Europe wearing on their head. I always thought she was like a robot, and that was like a bubble where her brain was or something. Oh, and what a surprise, it's Dr. Wily. I already went on this rant in my Mega Man 3 video, but how dumb is it that Mega Man 5, instead of having it be Proto Man, which would have been really cool, it's Dr. Wily. Like, come on, give us one game where it's not Dr. Wily. Had it been Proto Man in Mega Man 5 as the final boss, that would have been awesome. But I feel like they chickened out. And we only use Rush Marine just to clear that one tough jump. Same here, just not taking any risks. Alright, how many E-tanks? We got 8 E-tanks. We are in very fine shape. And I don't know what this guy's weakness is. We'll probably burn at least 1 E-tank on him. Oh good, we didn't even need to waste 1 E-tank. Alright, are we at the Robot Master Gauntlet? Everyone's favorite part of the Mega Man games. I've got 8 E-tanks. I don't know, is it worth the risk? I don't think so, so I'm just gonna drop right there. I'll leave that one alone. I'm okay with not having that. Don't want to risk a deathless run getting greedy. Oh, and Eddie's gonna reward us. I don't like either scenario. So this is a pretty neat final boss we actually, or end level boss we have coming up. It's there, we're not even gonna bother fighting that guy. But we have to fight a giant version of him. It's pretty neat. I'm not sure what weapon he's weak on, but we're just gonna use Charge Mega Buster on him. Alright, now we have the robot gauntlet. Alright, 9 E-tanks. We are gonna need ring, so we're gonna fill that. And bright is filled, so we'll go ahead and fill Rain Flush. And why not? Okay, I gotta start with the hardest one first. What is Drill Man weak to? Is it Dive Missile? I think it is Dive Missile. Ah, we didn't even need to use it, but whatever. And I believe he is weak to Toad Flush, or Rain Flush. Oh, that was closer than I would have liked. What's Skullman weak to? Is it Dust Crusher? Yes, it is. And like I said, I feel like I have a better shot beating these guys with, just regular old Mega Buster. Okay, Dive Man I know I can take out fairly easily with just the old Mega Buster. And I don't even care what weapon he's weak to. It's either Pharaoh Shot or maybe Skull Barrier. Doesn't matter. And Pharaoh Shot, by the way, we're gonna want to save. That is what we need for the final boss. We need Boomerang and Pharaoh Shot. Let's make sure we jump. Otherwise, it'll just teleport you out. And again, we don't care what Toadman is weak to. We're just gonna beat him the old-fashioned way. He was weak to dive missiles, right? We don't even have enough to finish him off, but whatever. So those of you who've been watching my channel know that one way I make it through retro games is by mastering the first few parts and then sort of limping towards the finish line. I know this guy's weak to Skull Barrier, but again, it's just easier to take out Ringman with the Mega Buster. Alright, so I guess this just leaves Pharaoh Man. But that is going to be very true, limping towards the finish line in this one. What do I have, 70 tanks? Because the last form of Dr. Wily, I will be burning through several of them. Alright, off to Wily. First form, which we need Ring for. Alright, so this is where I need to be extra careful. I absolutely suck at this fight. Okay, I think I can do it with plenty of E-tanks left over. Alright, now, here's where we need Pharaoh's Shot. And these enemies here solely to give you weapon refill if you need it. We do not. We have Pharaoh Shot ready to go. We're gonna watch this pattern first. We can take a few hits. And it's funny, I never would have figured out that's how to beat him on my own. Years and years ago. I mean, you know it now because you've done it so many times in the past, but it is kind of a curious, you know, little power-up that... Oh yeah, and Wily gets away. Imagine that. But it is kind of a curious way that power-up works. I don't... Does it always put that orb over Mega Man's head? I can't recall. But that's our Deathless Run Mega Man 4, so we've done 2, 3, and 4. Might be a while before I do 5, but I would like to do 6 at some point. So everyone remembers and enjoys the ending for Mega Man 2 with the change of seasons. 3 has that robot roll call with all the robots from Mega Man 1, 2, and 3, which felt like a conclusion to a trilogy. 4 has Mega Man riding the top of a train. This one's also pretty cool. Probably not as good as the other two. The ending, the game is perfectly fine. I don't believe it's more challenging than 3, though. Obligatory roll call for all the robot masters of this game. Kind of a cool remix of the Mega Man 2 opening theme. And as I've stated before, my only regret, no scoreboard. No scoreboard in Mega Man 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Very disappointing. But anyway, thanks for checking this out. Hopefully we get another no death run soon.